Hi beautiful souls, welcome back, or if you're new to the channel, welcome in. My name is Cade and today I am back with another pick a card reading. Today's pick a card reading is going to be messages from your higher self. So basically your higher self is the part of you that knows all the answers. I'm kind of getting the sense your higher self is very similar to your intuition. I feel like that's where you channel from. It's like the part of you that is the all-knowing being, okay? The all-knowing being within you is kind of what I'm feeling like I want to call it. So, I feel like basically today you are going to be communicating with a part of yourself, okay? So we have 3 different piles that we're going to be choosing from. Before we get started, guys, I do want to mention that my Instagram and TikTok are linked down below. If you want to check me out on Instagram, I post like more personal stuff over there. I do post spiritual content on Instagram as well. And if you want to check me out on TikTok, I post little mini tarot readings over on TikTok. So if you want to check me out over there on that platform, that would be really, really awesome. And I also have linked down below my new business that I just started. So make sure to check that out as well. So today, guys, messages from your higher self. So the part of you that knows everything, okay? So I'm super excited to see what comes through today. We have 3 piles to choose from. I'm just going to show you all of the different, I guess you would say objects or the different crystals that you're going to be choosing from. So pile 1 is going to be the chakra pendulum. So this is going to be pile 1. Pile 2, guys, is going to be the aventurine heart. So this is going to be pile number 2 is going to be the aventurine heart. And pile 3 is going to be the raw black tourmaline. So this is going to be pile number 3. Of course, guys, I am going to show you a close-up of the 3 crystals, or I'm going to show you a close-up of the pendulum, the heart, and the black tourmaline crystal. So take a moment here to get an up-close and personal look at the 3 different piles. Okay guys, so take as much time as you need. Definitely pause the video if you need more time. Call upon your spirit guides to help guide you towards the pile that is most going to resonate with you. And let's jump in and see what your higher self wants to communicate with you today. Hi beautiful souls that chose pile 1, or if you chose the chakra pendulum, welcome in. Today we are going to be getting messages from your higher self. So what does your higher self want to communicate with you? And it's kind of interesting because basically today you're sort of going to be communicating with yourself. So it's very interesting. So what I'm first going to do is shuffle an oracle card to kind of get us started. And then we will of course channel through any messages that I hear, and we will also shuffle tarot to get a more clear and concise message from your higher self today. So let's start with the Wisdom of Avalon oracle cards. And let's just see what your higher self wants to communicate. Pile 1's higher self, spirit. What does pile 1's higher self want to communicate? What does pile 1's higher self want to communicate? Please and thank you. What does pile 1's higher self want to communicate? Okay, so you guys got the love card. Interesting. We are going to read this message to kind of get us started. So you have card number 45, which is love. So it says, this marker reminds you to show kindness and compassion to all whom you meet on your path, be it a beggar on a street corner, a co-worker, a family member, an animal, or a plant whose leaves need pruning. This marker asks you to shift perception from yourself as a solitary person on the earth to one who's a part of the living system. Love is what made you, so keep it flowing. Remember to receive love as well. Ask yourself, am I blocking love? This marker reminds you that you're as connected to all of life as it is to you, and that you're responsible to be the steward of the love of God/Goddess. Love is without conditions. It is respectful, mindful, sees all life as sacred, and acts in accordance. Love reminds you that this very planet is a living being. So I feel like this love card is communicating that you are an eternal being of love and light. You are a part of a much bigger process. You're not alone. You're connected to all the stars. You're connected to everything that was ever created. Okay, you're a part of the creator's plan, if that makes sense. You're a part of you're a part of God's plan. There's a reason, there's a purpose that you were born and you incarnated on this planet. I think sometimes you can feel so alone or so disconnected from everyone else, yet you fail to see that you're a part of the bigger plan. You're a part of, what am I trying to say, Spirit? What am I trying to say? You're a part of all things that are alive, Spirit is saying. You're connected to everything that is alive right now in this moment. Nothing separates you from anyone else on this planet, okay? And there's a reason that you incarnated on this planet. You're connected to everything that was ever created. So it's almost like this need, your higher self is saying, to kind of shift your perception. I think sometimes you can feel like, so alone, or just like everything's happening to me, or like, what am I trying to say? You kind of almost have this attitude maybe right now of like, things only happen to me. I'm the only one going through hardship. And it's like almost this feeling of failing to recognize that you're interconnected to everyone else on this planet at this time. And that there's so much more than just you, okay? There's you and there's everybody else, and there's like everything that was ever created is kind of what your higher self wants you to recognize. They almost kind of want you to shift to a higher perspective and kind of see things from like the big picture point of view. I think sometimes you can get too stuck in your own little world, or in your own mind, or in your own headspace, and it's like going from like a me kind of personality of just like, I'm only focusing on what's going on in my life, and shifting your perception to like, oh, there's a bigger plan. It's like needing to see that you're a domino, and Spirit is showing me a row of dominoes, and like each domino represents a different person, and how like one person affects another person, and how all of these dominoes are meant to create change, and you're a part of that. But it's needing to see that like, you're not just the only domino, like there's other dominoes around you, and you're all meant to kind of make this change and make this shift within this time period on Earth. I hope that made sense, but Spirit is saying like, you're all a part of a greater mission, or that's what your higher self is saying, is like, you're a part of a greater mission. There's so much more to you than just you, there's this interconnectedness to everything that is alive, and there's this interconnectedness to why you chose to be here. And I feel like you need to shift from like this 3D perspective on life. I don't know if some of you are really stressed at your job, or you're just really stressed right now. There's something about you being in a human mentality, Spirit is saying. Are you being very 3D right now, and needing to shift out of that and say like, what is my bigger purpose? What is the bigger plan? Why am I here on this earth? It wasn't just because, I was meant to be stressed and just like repeat the same cycle every day. There's like a bigger mission that I'm meant to accomplish. So interesting, guys. I hope that made sense. It's almost like needing to see that like everything is connected in a way. So I also want to get an oracle card from the Sacred Destiny Oracle. Spirit, what does Pile 1's higher self want to communicate to them? What does Pile 1's higher self want to communicate to them? I don't know why Spirit is I don't know why this is coming to me. It's like a good example of what I was, your higher self was trying to explain is like, consider this. It's like, every country appears to be super separate. Like we're all separated in these different countries. And then something like a pandemic happens, and you start to recognize that like we're all one. It affected everyone. It affected the entire globe. So you go from just thinking you're this separate entity to recognizing that like we're all human. We're all the same, okay? And I don't know why there's a oneness within all of us is what your higher self is saying. So recognize that like you're connected to more than just yourself, okay? There's a part of you that is connected to everyone. There's like this thread of love going towards everyone. Like there's connections with everyone, Spirit is telling me. So that's what your higher self is trying to communicate. So I don't know if you've been feeling like lonely or very like separate from everyone. But that's kind of what your higher self is wanting to say to start off this message. So let's see a Sacred Destiny Oracle card, Spirit. What does Pile 1's higher self want to communicate? What does Pile 1's higher self want to communicate? We also have Potential. I love this card so much, so I'm going to read it real quick and then kind of see what I channel from it. So we have the card Potential. Let's see what we have. Okay, so Potential says, this card appears when you are ready to activate your potential and step into your strength. This is a time to activate those gifts that you've had on the back burner in your life. You have incredible untapped potential. This is a time to allow it to flow. An inner wellspring of power is emerging. You have a profound spiritual power that is deep within you. Do not doubt your great authority and capabilities. A dormant volcano might indicate that you have uncomfortable emotions that are repressing or keeping inside, thus creating emotional stress and inner pressure. It can also mean that you are on the verge of a great expansion of energy and life force. I think there's this shift your higher self is saying from going from seeing yourself as nothing to something. It's like, can I really make a difference? And then suddenly seeing your potential and seeing that like there was a reason, there was a purpose that you incarnated in this lifetime. There's soul contracts that you made with other people. And it's like you can't just sit there and not do anything about them. You have to go fulfill that mission. There's a reason that your soul chose this life. And I think your higher self is saying like in the near future, you're going to be discovering that reason. It's like, I think some of you thought that maybe you never were going to be anything or that you could never accomplish anything. But you're starting to see your part in the greater whole. It's like there's a reason for me. You know what I'm saying? There's that shift from thinking that like you're just like nothing. You know what I mean? Like you're just basic or you're just simple or there's no really reason that you're here. You just kind of are there. Going from that to recognizing like, no, I have a bigger purpose. And I said this in another reading, but I feel guided to say it again, is like, God, the creator of all, whatever you call, you know, that power, that energy that created everything that you see today, thought that the world needed one of you. And it's trusting that like the creator had a plan for me. So like trusting that like, what am I trying to say? The creator had a plan for you. So don't think that there's no reason for you being here. Know that there is a reason and there is a purpose for you, okay? That's kind of what I'm getting. I almost kind of feel like maybe some of you, your higher self has been seeing you kind of struggle with feeling like, you know, there's really no reason. People wouldn't care if I was here or not here, like no one would notice. There's something about higher consciousness and like you connecting with higher consciousness, possibly communicating. Spirit is saying like communicating what you feel on the inside or sharing something with the world. It's kind of what I'm getting. I feel like you need to, it's interesting because I feel like the reading has a lot to do with purpose or what you're meant to do in this lifetime. There's something about soul purpose or your higher self wanting you to recognize what your soul purpose is. So I'm going to shuffle some tarot. Kind of see. It's kind of like how I can explain this is like if I'm fulfilling my purpose and I'm doing what lights me up, that will in turn light other people up. And then when other people are lit up, they're going to affect other people. It's like this domino effect is what Spirit is describing this as, or what your higher self is describing this as, is like this domino effect. So if you choose not to show up, how many people are you letting down? There could be like a whole group of people that you're meant to show up for. Your throat chakra, there's this energy your higher self is saying of needing to speak up, needing to communicate your truth, because there's a reason that you incarnated, because your light is going to help other people light up. So it's like you're a nightlight for other people. Spirit is saying there's a reason that you're meant to shine. And if you don't show up, and you don't shine, how many people are you going to be letting down? First of all, you're going to be letting down your soul who came here for a purpose, but you also could be letting down others who need your light to trigger them into their purpose. So it's also needing to not only think about yourself when it comes to communicating your truth, not only thinking about what that means and how that's going to benefit you, but also considering, if I don't show up, if I don't see my potential, if I don't see the love that I'm so meant to give in this lifetime, how many others are going to be let down? You know, and stop thinking only about yourself and think about, well, if I don't show up, am I going to let down, you know, that person over there? There's someone out there that needs you, is basically what Spirit is saying. There's someone out there that needs you, that needs your love. There's someone out there that needs you to recognize your potential so that they can recognize theirs. You know, how many of you have a hero that you look up to? How many of you have that person in your life and you see them thrive and it makes you want to thrive? You could be that person for someone, is what your higher self is saying. This is such a beautiful message, because it's almost like when one person speaks up, when one person comes out of the dark, it encourages others to do the same and think, maybe I can do that too. So when you step into your purpose, it's going to trigger someone else to step into their purpose. And then when that person steps into their purpose, it's going to trigger another person to step into theirs. So it's like this big, huge domino effect, is what your higher self is saying. And that you're not only letting yourself down by staying quiet. You're not only letting yourself down by staying in your fear and anxiety. You're letting others down as well. You're letting the plan down. There were a lot of souls that came in incarnated in this lifetime, and you all agreed to show up, and you aren't fulfilling your contract. You aren't showing up as much as you could be showing up, pile one, is what your higher self is saying. Step up to the plate, is this energy, is like, step up to the plate. We have the Hierophant reverse. I love the Hierophant reverse. The Hierophant reverse can talk about going against the status quo, going against tradition. And maybe that's been the struggle, is like, well, no one else is doing it. So it's like, I have to be the first. Is that kind of energy that I'm picking up on? Is like, the Hierophant is reverse, is like, no one else is doing it, but I have to be the first to step up and lead with integrity. Let's see what else we have to connect this message to you from your higher self. We also have the Empress. Lead with authority is what I'm hearing Spirit say. Lead with authority. Lead with authority is what your higher self is communicating. I do feel like you guys are meant to be leaders in this lifetime. Okay, I do feel that from you. I kind of feel like your story is meant to inspire other people. Something about you communicating your truth is going to inspire others. So let's see what else we have here for you, pile one. We have the Eight of Cups, the Nine of Swords, the Eight of Wands, the Three of Swords. Okay. So, you know, I feel like for you, pile one, what I'm getting from your higher self is there's been this moment in time, your higher self is saying, where you have kind of been in this energy. The Nine of Swords, the Three of Swords. Sword energy is possibly getting stuck up in our head, getting stuck up in our anxiety, getting stuck up in our mental worry, overthinking, second guessing, you know, that kind of a thing, and kind of just being maybe very withdrawn from the world right now, and maybe feeling like, you know, kind of in the dark about a lot of things, not knowing where to go next. But I think that's all just being made up in your head, because I think deep within you, you know you have a bigger purpose. And I feel like with this Eight of Cups, you're coming to this epiphany, like, there's something more for me out there. Look at this guy staring out into the world. There's something more out there for you, and I think you're about to like travel towards that, is what Spirit is saying. You're about to show up in a whole new way. I feel like with the Six of Wands and the Eight of Wands, there's some sort of like fast change that is about to come up in your life, where you're suddenly going to go from like hiding in the shadows to suddenly like being very outspoken, being very outgoing, and putting yourself out there. And all of a sudden you're going to go from like not ever realizing that you had a purpose to suddenly seeing that like you showing up means so much to everyone around you. So it's interesting because I feel like with the Eight of Cups, there's this feeling of like, I don't know what I'm kind of getting. I'm kind of getting as like a wake up call, or you're reaching some sort of epiphany of like, I can't just sit here and be sad forever, or I can't just sit here and let the past hold me back forever, or I can't just sit here and let my worry and my fear hold me back from accomplishing what my soul came to this earth to accomplish. And I feel like with the Six of Wands, I do feel like your higher self is saying that you're going to be leading some group of people in some way, shape, or form. You are going to be going against the status quo. And I do feel like you're going to be growing a certain level of abundance in your life. I feel like the Eight of Wands and the Empress talks a lot about growth, growing some sort of wealth, or reaching some sort of abundance in this lifetime, reaching some sort of success, and possibly sharing your story with other people. And I think by sharing your accomplishments with others, you're actually going to encourage other people to want to, you know, be the best version of themselves, okay? So, Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck. Some of you are going to be, your higher self is saying you're going to be recognizing what your destiny is, you know, where you're being called to travel towards. We also have the Ten of Cups reverse. Another message is coming through is like, some of you may have to walk away from a certain relationship that is causing pain in your life. You may have to walk away from some sort of connection that is no longer working. Okay, because it's not serving you and it's not serving what your soul is meant to accomplish in this lifetime. I feel like with this Eight of Wands, there's a path that's going to be opening up for you and you've got to follow it. And what I'm kind of getting is, to follow this path, you may kind of have to like break out of the mold. You may have to kind of leave people behind that you never thought you were going to leave behind, which may be super scary, but like, your soul is calling you. It's like Spirit is showing your soul yelling at you to like do this thing. And it's like all or nothing. Spirit is saying, I'm hearing all or nothing. So it's very interesting. Let's see what else I'm getting for you, pile number one. Is there anything else for pile one? We also have the Five of Cups reverse. So I do feel like if some of you have been feeling super withdrawn lately, if you've been feeling in this dark place, there's some light that's going to shed. There's light coming in to shed. Spirit is saying that there is a light that is going to shed path. There is a, Spirit is showing this is like, there's like light that is going to like suddenly show up, and it's going to show you this path to take. So pay attention, because I feel like you're going to go from like feeling completely stuck, and Spirit is saying this door is magically going to open. Make sure you're paying attention and follow through with the path that Spirit is showing you. Okay? I feel like with the Five of Cups in the reverse, you're moving out of that feeling of disappointment. Because when we recognize our greater purpose, we suddenly realize that all of this never mattered, and that we're putting too much importance on the wrong things in our life. So that's kind of what I feel like your higher self is communicating with you, pile one. It definitely feels like you're shifting from like this 3D perspective of maybe only focusing on relationships, only focusing on love, only focusing on like things that don't really matter, to suddenly like shifting your perspective and like seeing that like there's so much more than just like all the drama, Spirit is kind of saying. So there's so much more than all this anxiety, worry, and drama with other people. Let's kind of see what else we're getting. We also have the Queen of Pentacles. So, you know, I do feel like whatever you're going to be doing, you're going to be amazing at it. And you're going to build a lot of abundance for yourself. You're going to build a lot of stability for yourself. And I do think you're going to be sharing that wealth with other people. And you're going to be encouraging other people to build the same abundance for themselves. So is there anything else, Spirit, for pile number one? What else do they want? Does their higher self want to communicate? That's it. That's the message, guys. So let me know, pile 1, if this resonated with you. Make sure to subscribe, click the notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a brand new video. Make sure to check out all the links down below, and I'm gonna go to move on to pile number 2. Hi, beautiful souls that chose pile number 2, or if you chose the Aventurine Heart, welcome into your reading. So today, guys, we are going to be channeling through messages from your higher self. So basically, you're kind of going to be communicating with yourself today. We're going to just see what your higher self wants you to know right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get started by shuffling one of these oracle cards, and I'm also going to shuffle an oracle card from this deck, and then we also have tarot that we're going to be diving into. So we have a lot of different messages that are going to be coming through today. So let's see, pile 2, let's go ahead and get started. What does pile 2's higher self want to communicate? What does pile 2's higher self want to communicate? What does pile 2's higher self want to communicate with them? What does pile 2's higher self want to communicate with them? Whoa. Okay, hold on, guys. We're going to try this. Okay. One card, Spirit. What does pile 2's higher self want to communicate? Okay. So we have the Love card reverse. Interesting. The Love card actually came out in the first reading. And we also have Innocence, Beginner. Okay, so we also have the Novice. So interesting. So what I would say with the Love card coming out, you guys could have also been guided towards pile number 1. I am also going to read the Love card to you as well. And then we also have the Novice. So very interesting. Now let's take a look at the other oracle card that is coming out for you, pile 2. What does your higher self want to communicate with you? What does pile 2's higher self want to communicate? What does pile 2's higher self want to communicate with them? What does pile 2's higher self want to communicate? Okay, whoa, you guys got 3 cards. Do we take them all? I guess we do. Okay, guys, so you got Stand Still, Leadership, Stand Still, Leadership, and Action. Okay, so a lot of different energies that are coming through from your higher self. So what I want to do first is just start by reading the Novice, because I already read this card in the previous pile, so I kind of have an idea of what it means. I do want to go ahead and read the Novice. Okay, the Novice says, innocence, foolishness, early knowledge not yet integrated, the ability to see the world untainted, and learning ability. These are the aspects of the Novice as she appears in your life. The Novice is reminding you to be teachable and humble. If you don't know something, don't pretend that you do. Chances are that you'll make an error that may cost you more than you wish to pay. New information is coming, and this is the time to be open to learning and expanding. Okay, so the Novice is very much giving me beginner mindset. It's very much giving me we're about to start something new, so let's not act like we are the leader in a field that we're not comfortable in yet. It's this feeling of like being open to learning new things, being open to new ideas, being open to new knowledge, and just being like open so that we can start as a beginner, but so we can transform into the leader. And that's kind of what I'm feeling here with the Novice up against the Leadership, is kind of this feeling of like starting whatever you're doing at a place of like, I know nothing, so that you can be open enough to learn and then transform into knowing something. So I kind of feel like what Spirit is saying is, I feel like you're about to start something new. What your higher self is saying is like, you're about to begin something new. Go easy on yourself. I feel like you're gonna make a lot of mistakes is what your higher self is saying. Your higher self is saying that you're gonna fail 1,000,000 times, but each and every time you fail, you're gonna learn something new, and then you're gonna learn something new again, and then you will eventually become the leader in your field. So I think there's this feeling of like, Spirit is showing me, or your higher self is showing me your progress that you're making. So I feel like I almost want to say that pile 1 was the start of your life, or pile number 1 was your past energy, and now you're kind of shifting into this place where you're kind of open and ready to expand your life. So you have this very open kind of mindset, kind of like the Fool's energy, where you're kind of like not so sure where you're going, but you're kind of trusting yourself anyways, and you're just being really open to whatever's next on your path. And I think that's a really great energy because we have this action card. And it's very interesting because the action card says that you don't have to know all the answers. It states that you don't have to be 100% sure of yourself, but you have to take action anyways. And I kind of feel like that's what you guys are doing, is like, you're understanding that the way for you to learn is to just jump right in and make mistakes. What Spirit does not want you to do, what your higher self does not want you to do, is to try to achieve perfectionism. That is going to ruin you. Your higher self is saying, do not try to be perfect. Allow yourself to make those mistakes. Allow yourself to fail, because it's going to, one, help you learn lessons, and two, it's going to make you more wise. So if leadership is what you're looking for, I think you're on the right path. I think that one day, whatever you're doing currently, you're going to actually be able to teach it to someone else, but that only comes from experience. And I think something your higher self is saying, Pile 2, that you kind of lack right now is experience in whatever you're doing. So I think you need to gain knowledge through experience, is what your higher self is saying. We also have this standstill card, which is interesting. I want to kind of read this and see how this plays into what your higher self is trying to communicate. It says it feels that some areas of your life have slowed down or even come to a standstill. Something is not progressing. Okay, interesting. So I think standstill is kind of the energy that you were in, or maybe the energy that you're still in, where you're kind of feeling stagnant or you're kind of feeling stuck and kind of in this energy of like which way do I go? Do I go left, right, up, down? Like, where do I go? And Spirit is saying that whatever choice you make, you're at least going to learn something. And so that's something that you need to remember, is it's better to try and fail than to not try at all. Okay, that's the kind of energy that I'm getting from your higher self, Pile 2. So I don't know what's going on right now in your life, but it's better to try and fail than to never try at all. And I kind of feel like that's what you're kind of going through. I feel like to find your place in this world, I feel like you guys are going to have to go through a lot of trial and error. Like, you might have to like try one thing, recognize that you don't like that thing, then go and try another thing. And that's kind of how you're going to discover what is truly meant for you. I do feel like your higher self is saying, Pile 2, you're going to meet a lot of challenges along the road. You're going to meet a lot of bumps in the road, but I think it's kind of a test for you. Your ability to get over those challenges, your ability to go through those challenges is really going to be the test of whether like you're going to just sit back, or are you going to like take charge and take control of your life, is kind of the energy that I'm picking up on. I do also feel like with this love card, some of you, the path that you're currently leading, you're on the road to like recognizing your purpose, is kind of the energy that I'm getting. So I feel like you failed a lot of times. Maybe this is like your past energy where you have failed so many times, and you're kind of reaching the point where you're finally discovering your path, or you're finally discovering, you know, where you're meant to step up and lead. So it's going to be different for all of you. Some of you are just starting something new and you're not really sure where your place is in this world. And some of you have already done all of that and you're finally discovering where you're meant to step up and lead. So it's going to be different for all of you. So kind of take what resonates. We're also going to dive into tarot. I feel like the main thing that your higher self is saying is like, go easy on yourself. I feel like you compare yourself a lot to others, but I think what you are failing to see is that the person you're comparing yourself to has already been through all of their trials and tribulations. The person you're comparing yourself to has already failed multiple times, and that's why they can stand and be in so much confidence, okay? You're maybe asking like, why can't I be more confident in myself? Why can't I be more sure of yourself? You will get to that point. It takes time, it takes practice, it takes experience. So I would just go easy on yourself is what Spirit is saying. Don't rush the process. Don't compare the middle of your story to the end of someone else's story. You're still in the midst of your life. You're still in the midst of your experience. You don't want to be where that other person is, okay? It's kind of the energy that I'm picking up on. Spirit is, your higher self is kind of just saying it's, you know, you want to reach the end goal, you want to reach the 10 of Pentacles, but it's also needing to accept that maybe I'm not at the 10 of Pentacles yet, maybe I'm at the 6 of Pentacles, or maybe I'm at the 4 of Pentacles, and just like allowing yourself to build up is kind of the energy that I'm getting. People that reach their legacy have a lot of like build up behind it. You don't want to just reach the top, you know what I'm saying, because it falls quickly. You don't want to just get quick fame, quick riches, because it falls apart quickly. But when you slowly build, there's a lot of stability that kind of holds everything you've created up so it doesn't end up falling down. Okay, so that's what your higher self is kind of wanting to communicate with you. Pile number 2. I do feel like your higher self also wants to say how proud of you they are, because it's not easy for you, pile 2, to take action when you feel like you don't know all the answers, but nonetheless, I feel like you're doing it. I don't think you can see beyond the present moment right now. You're kind of just blindly taking steps, and you're just trusting that the fog will clear and that the path will open up for me as long as I just keep trusting my path, okay? So let's kind of see what the tarot wants to communicate. What does your higher self want to communicate to you, pile 2, through the tarot cards? I also feel like there is going to be, your higher self is communicating, there is going to be a very important figure that shows up in your life, a leader kind of figure, kind of maybe a boss, that may kind of teach you everything that you need to know. Something about a mentor is kind of coming up here. Maybe you are going to be finding a mentor, or maybe you're going to be joining a class and you're going to really just connect with the teacher. It feels like there's some sort of teacher or some sort of mentor or some sort of person that you're going to be able to kind of look up to, is what your higher self is saying, and you're going to learn a lot from whoever this person is. So again, I think when we come at it from a place of like, I think you need to just literally say, I don't know all the answers, is kind of the perspective that I feel like you need to approach life with right now, pile 2, because that's going to allow you to grow into the person that you want to become. When we think we know everything, it kind of limits us and it kind of hinders us, because it leaves us no space to grow as a human being. It leaves us no space to learn new things, and it leaves us no space to like become a better person, okay? When we think we're perfect and we think that we do nothing wrong, we never have a chance to better ourselves, okay? So, you know, perfectionism is definitely not what you want to strive for, pile 2. You know, you want to make mistakes, you want to fail, because it's how you grow into a better person, okay? It's how you become a better person, is what your higher self is saying. So let's see what the cards have to say. So we have the Knight of Pentacles reverse. So the Knight of Pentacles reverse is a very stagnant energy. It means that we're feeling quite stuck. And I think the only way to shift that is to start taking action. Okay, so which I feel like you're going to be doing is what your higher self is saying. We also have the Seven of Swords reverse. Okay, and we also have the Three of Cups. Meeting new people along the way is something that I just heard from your higher self. We also have the Five of Pentacles. Okay, very, very interesting from your higher self. Okay, and we also have the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, so interesting. So we're in a place right now where, okay, and then we have the Five of Wands on the bottom. Okay, so a whole nother message is kind of coming through. We're in a place right now where we're feeling a little bit stuck, possibly. We're in a place right now where we're feeling kind of stuck in the mud, or we're in a place right now where we need help. We need guidance, we need support, we need to call on that support. We have tried to fake it till we make it with the Seven of Swords. We have tried to pretend we're okay. We have tried to pretend that everything is going fine, but that is no longer working, okay? admit defeat is what your guides are saying. Let your guard down, surrender. Stop trying to control everything is another message coming through. I feel like there's a little bit of a control problem here with you, pile number 2, where you want to control everything. You want to put all the pieces into place. You don't know everything, and that's okay. We need to accept defeat. In your case, pile 2, there's this feeling of needing to accept defeat, or needing to accept that I don't know all the answers, and being open to what other people have to say, and to like guidance from other people or guidance from a higher source. I feel like with the 5 of Pentacles, some of us are in a place right now where we're feeling a lot of hardship. We're feeling like we need support from other people. We need someone to kind of come and lift us up a little bit, and I think that's perfectly okay. We need someone to kind of bandage us up, and I think you guys, your personality is very like warrior mentality. Like, you don't want to give up. You don't like giving up. You don't like you don't like for people to see, excuse me guys, you don't like for people to see your weak points. You don't like for people to see your lowest points, but I feel for some of you, you're at a low point right now. You're at a low point, and I think trying to pretend like you're not is making it worse, you know? Because what's going to end up happening is, like, I think there's a reason for you being at this low point. I think there's a reason that these challenges are occurring right now in your life. But if you pretend that they're not there, you pretend that they don't exist, you're not going to learn the valuable lesson within it. Okay, so yeah, hardship sucks, but at least learning something from it, at least we can take something from it. It may feel like right now everything is being taken from you, but look at your situation as, what is being given to me? What did I learn from this? What am I not going to repeat because I already made that mistake in the past, so in the future I'm not going to repeat it? But when we bypass these hardships and we pretend like we're not there, we get in this cycle. And I feel like that's what you guys are possibly stuck in, is what your higher self is saying. Stuck in this cycle of like not knowing the answers, thinking you know the answers, then just going at it again and running into the same issue. You keep running into a wall, and it feels like you need to bring in support. I feel like with this 3 of Cups, maybe you need to ask for advice from a friend. Again, maybe you need some sort of mentor. You need someone to help you out right now, is kind of what Spirit is saying. I feel like with the 6 of Pentacles in the reverse, you know, we're trying to push forth some sort of effort. We're trying to push forth some sort of energy, but we're not getting the results that we need. So it's coming to this conclusion of like putting your swords down. Let your swords down, let your guard down, and almost kind of open up to change and open up to receiving guidance from something other than yourself. So let's kind of see what else Spirit is wanting to communicate, or your higher self, I should say. I keep saying Spirit. What else does pile 2's higher self want to communicate? Is there anything else? Is there anything else that pile 2's higher self wants to communicate? Let's see. We have the 10 of Pentacles. I don't know if that was reversed or upright. Definitely reverse. Some of you are having to start over. It's kind of the energy that I'm also picking up on. Higher self is telling me you're having to like start over. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Okay, perfect. I love this kind of a way to end this reading. So, 9 of Swords, we're super worried right now. We feel like life has flipped over on top of us. We feel like the water has spilled over, and we need help. We don't want to ask for it. We don't want to show people that vulnerability, which I feel like is going to end up happening. You're going to have to show someone, you're going to have to be vulnerable and open with someone. I feel like with the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, we feel like all that we've built for ourselves is like torn apart. We feel like the legacy we built, something's not working out anymore, and we feel like we have to restart it. But we're like, you're kind of like, why do I have to restart? It's basically just Spirit is saying it's another chapter in your book. We all have those moments where we go up. Life is not linear. We go up, sometimes we go down, we go up, we go down. I feel like you could be at a point where you're kind of feeling like you're going down, but also remembering that there's only one place left to go, and that's up. So, you know, it's not helpful, Spirit keeps saying, to pretend like we're on a up when we're not, when we're on a down. So also consider that. I feel like with the 9 of Swords, you know, stressing about it isn't going to help. Rethinking it, replaying it in your mind is not going to help. It's almost like you need someone to kind of like snap you out of it, or you need like this shift in perspective to be like, okay, you know what? We're just going to start fresh. We're going to start with this beginner's mindset. So it's kind of like go back to the beginning of the reading, follow all of those steps. We also have justice, which kind of tells me that like the universe is working in your favor. Like things are working out for you. Even though it doesn't seem like it, justice is that feeling of like things are going to turn in your favor. There's a reason for everything. And I think maybe you'll be able to leave this reading a little bit more, what am I trying to say? Reassured that like every hardship that you're going through right now does indeed have a reason, and it's going to turn back in your favor. And actually, the thing that broke you down the most, you're actually going to be thankful that it happened, because without it, you wouldn't be able to go where you're going. Okay, that's kind of how I look at it. I look at some of the hardships that I've experienced in my life, but there was a plan. It's like I never would have done YouTube like this. I never would have started reading tarot if I didn't go through hardship. So it's kind of like this scale of like, well, this was great over here, but without the hardship, I wouldn't have had this right now. So also consider that of like shifting your perspective and seeing that like after every storm is a rainbow. And it's like if we can just wait it out and just wait for the rainbow to come, we're much better off, okay? Is there anything else? This is a longer reading, but I wanted to make sure to communicate all these messages from your higher self. Is there anything else from pile 2's higher self? Anything else? Guys, I want you to go listen to a song called Rainbow by Casey Musgraves. Is that her name? Yes, The Moon. We're in the dark right now. We're in the dark right now. We're in our fear. We're up in our fear. We're up in our head right now. But I promise you guys, the light will return. And you'll be thankful that you went through this. You will be so thankful. It's a blessing in disguise, okay? So I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if it resonated. I think your higher self had some amazing messages to say to you. You may want to consider watching pile 1 as well, because you know, we had the same exact card from pile 1 that also came out, so that could be a sign to listen to pile 1. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to pile number 3. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hi, beautiful souls that chose pile 3, or if you chose the raw black tourmaline crystal, welcome in, guys. Today we are going to be getting messages from your higher self. So basically we are going to be communicating with a part of yourself that knows all the answers. This is your higher self, the one that knows all. It's kind of almost like your inner voice that we are going to be communicating with today. So I'm actually going to start with an oracle card, and then we are going to dive into another oracle card, and we'll also get some tarot. Okay, so we are going to start first with an oracle card. What does pile 3's higher self want to communicate with them? Okay, perfect. So guys, we have the dog. Okay, this says loyalty, sincerity, and unconditional love. So maybe this is a person right now in your life who wants to be loyal to you, or who wants to be in your life, or this is talking about your higher self is saying that you're going to have someone that comes into your life that wants to show you more love, and possibly being ready and being open for that. You know, maybe someone who wants to share a commitment with you is kind of what I'm getting. The dog spirit is a very loyal energy. So I feel like this either kind of represents maybe some of you are getting a new dog, maybe some of you need to consider getting a dog, or your higher self is just saying that there is going to be someone that shows up in your life, pile number 3, who wants to be loyal and wants to be committed to you, and possibly just being ready for that and being open for that. So let's also get another oracle card. Okay, so we have delight, and we also have change. Interesting. So I do like to read the oracle cards to kind of get started, and then we kind of go into tarot. So let's first read dog spirit. So this is number 19. Okay, dog spirit says the dog is the most loyal animal to human beings. When the dog appears on your path, he reminds you of this trait. Are you steadfast with your loved ones? Are you true to yourself and your dreams? Do you act with sincerity? It's very important that you do so now, for good fortune comes with the faithful dog as your companion. The dog loves sincerely without conditions and is happy to be a part of the pack. Think about how you function in your community. Are you a loyal team player? Another issue the dog asks you to consider is the loyalty of others. If someone is being insincere, move on because he or she isn't meant to be in your pack. Ask the dog for a sign and your answer will be shown. So this is interesting. This is about who do I want in my life? Who do I want to be there for me? What do I want in my life? Your higher self is saying, make a list. You have to make a list about what you want in a person, what you're looking for in a person, and what you're looking for in a partner. Okay? And it's also making that checklist and saying who does not meet that, who does not match the list that I made. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. I feel like right now in your life, you're doing some spring cleaning. Spirit is saying, your higher self is saying you're doing some spring cleaning. There are things that do need to be let go of because there is a massive change that is about to show up in your life. There's a lot of things that are going to be moving forward for you. I feel like pile 3, there's a lot of, Spirit is saying there's a lot of people that are going to be leaving your life because I feel like there's a lot of change occurring right now in your life. You're changing as a person. Your life is changing. There also could just be a lot of like physical changes, like maybe you're moving or there's just a lot that is shifting for you. And because of this shift, I do feel like you have to cut loose ends. This is talking about cutting away loose ends. Your higher self just wants you to consider what do I need and what do I not need? And I just feel like right now you need to ask yourself that question is like, is there someone in my life who is not benefiting me? Is there someone in my life who is not being loyal to me? Is there someone in my life who is not showing up for me in the way that I show up for them? Okay? Let's read this change card because I feel like this is going to be the main energy of your reading. It says, it's okay to change your mind. It's all right to change directions. You do not need to be consistent. This is a time to put the needs and expectations of others aside and listen to the beat of your own drum. You don't need to follow tradition, create your own. So it feels like your life is changing. Okay, go beyond the predictable behavior. We also have the taking risk card on the bottom of the deck. It feels like you're shifting up your life is kind of what I'm getting. You're changing your life. Some of you are changing your hairstyle. Some of you are changing everything about your life. You're changing your path. You're changing your career. Something is shifting. It's like a sudden shift. It's like, this is what I want to do, so I'm making this change. I don't know if it's like, it just feels like something super fast. It feels like something super sudden. It feels like something that you're doing for yourself. It also feels like some of you are shifting into like a more free bird kind of energy where you're just more in the flow or you're having more fun. You're hanging out with more friends. You're hanging out with more people. You're maybe just feeling more confident in yourself, taking more risk, being more daring, just kind of being a different person than you were in the past. I feel like in the past you used to always second guess yourself. I feel like in the past your higher self is saying you used to live up in your head all the time. You used to be so like, you know, looking behind your back all the time. Like, is someone going to stab me in the back? Is someone going to betray me? But it almost kind of feels like your higher self is saying that you are doing a complete 180. Like you are walking in the room and then when you walk out, you're a completely different person is what your higher self is saying, pile number 3. You've changed as a person. And what I want to say, pile 3, you've changed as a person. I feel like a lot of you, your belief systems are changing. The way you see the world is changing. Maybe some of you just got into this spiritual path and suddenly you're just like shifting, like your whole mindset is just changing. Like everything about you. You're now into tarot cards. You're now into oracle cards. You're now like into mediums and into psychics, and like your old friends are like, you're a weirdo. Like there's people around you that are possibly like eyeballing you, like who are you, like who did you become? And you're like, I changed for me, I didn't change for you. And if you can't accept the person that I want to become, and if you can't accept the new version of me, then I don't need you. Snip snip. It's kind of that energy. It's like, cut off the people that are not going to remain loyal to you. Your true friends will always be there, is what your guides are saying. The true people will always be there. It feels like this is the scenario that I'm being shown. You've come home, you've been married for a long time, you come home and you suddenly say, you know what, I want to change my career. And it's about how your significant other responds. Do they comfort you and do they say, you know what, I'm 100% behind your back, I'm 100% with you, I support you in whatever you want to do. That is an amazing person. That is someone that needs to be in your life. That is someone that is showing up for you. They're saying, you know what, I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to continue to show you support. Even though you're changing, even though you want to switch up your life, I'm going to support you. Maybe you want to start a new business. Your friends that say, you know what, you can succeed, I am cheering you on. That's who you want in your life. You want cheerleaders. You want people that are going to support you. What your higher self is saying is, if you notice someone who gets weird, if you notice someone who kind of backs their energy up from you, if you notice someone who doesn't want to cheer you on, if you notice someone that doesn't want to clap for you, that doesn't want to support you, it is very crucial that you cut them away, because they are only going to hinder the success that is guaranteed in your future. I feel like with taking risks, you guys are just like, you're not so much up in fear, is what Spirit is saying. You're almost kind of in this whimsical energy. Spirit is kind of describing. The Delight card is a very whimsical energy. It's a very fun energy. It's a very outgoing energy. It's someone who take risks. They jump off and they just trust themselves. They trust their intuition. They trust their ideas. They get an idea and you know what they do? They take action on it the next day. That's the kind of feeling. The Delight card is very much of, I want to dye my hair pink, so I'm going to do it. I want to dye my hair purple, so I'm going to do it. And I think some people are going to look at you like you're crazy. There are going to be people that look at you like you're crazy. Because I feel like, I almost want to say that you guys are like, you're different. It's like, you're going to have people look at you and go, who are you? Like, you just seem like you're different, or you changed, or like, and you're like, I never changed, I just found who I truly was, you know? Some of you are breaking free. Spirit is also telling me of like, toxic relationships. You're just like having this wake up call, like, I'm fucking done, and you're flicking everyone off and you're like, bye bitch, I'm leaving this toxicity. And they're not going to be able to handle that. You know why? Because people no longer have control over you, pile 3. That's what your higher self is saying, is you're no longer being controlled by others. You're no longer being controlled by your environment. You're saying, you know what? This doesn't serve me anymore, and you're choosing to get out of a bad situation. And I feel like some of you have even dealt with narcissists, and they cannot deal when someone says, you know what? You're treating me badly. And then it's like suddenly making that shift of like enduring, you know, someone's, I don't want to go as far as to say abuse, but enduring someone's negative energy for so long, and then suddenly saying, I don't want to be around you anymore. And by you setting that boundary, you almost come to this place of like taking charge of your life, stepping into your power. And that's why everything's kind of going to fall into place, because you finally like step into your own. That's the energy that your higher self is saying, is like you're stepping into your own. It's a very beautiful energy. You know, the bird on this, you know, maybe you're seeing a lot of birds. You have actually 2 birds on this card, which are both like animals that can fly, obviously. But this card is like also somebody up in the air. So it's like, it's a very freeing energy. It's very free. And it's also the dog spirit kind of is giving me dogs running around. It's a very free energy. Your higher self is saying you're finally gonna feel free. Like, not withheld by the cage of your thoughts, not withheld by like maybe a caged in environment. There's something coming up in your life, pile 3, that is going to be very freeing for you. It's almost this feeling of like someone who like shaves their head and just has this rebellious kind of energy, and suddenly feels like they have control over their life again. Because I do feel like for the longest time, it's almost felt like you had no control over your life, pile 3, and your higher self is saying that you are suddenly going to be taking control of your life again. It's really honestly an incredible energy. So I do want to get tarot for you guys. Look at that full energy. Look at that. I feel like that's you, okay? And I also feel like for you, pile 3, you're breaking out of patterns you're breaking out of cycles, like maybe cycles with certain people, like toxic relationships. And because of that, you're going to be shown your true soul tribe. So a lot of you, your higher self is saying that you're going to be manifesting your truest friends, or you're going to be manifesting the truest people in your life, whether that be, you know, a group of people or maybe just a single person. Be on the lookout for possibly meeting somebody new. We have the Emperor. The Emperor, the boss of your own life, okay? I feel like the Emperor can also talk about, it's all about control. So it could talk about getting away from controlling people, or finally stepping into this Emperor energy where like you're not allowing other people to dictate what you choose to do in this lifetime. And you finally step into that power where you're kind of making your own decisions and you're kind of in control and dictating your own life. So let's see, we also have the Nine of Cups in the reverse. Definitely possibly in a situation that is not very emotionally fulfilling. Definitely feeling like you've been in a situation that feels super stagnant, or it feels like it's not allowing you to grow. For some of you, this could be like an environment where you feel like you've outgrown something. That's another energy that your higher self is communicating, is like possibly you've outgrown a specific situation, or you've outgrown a specific relationship. And so it's like the minute you come out of that, you're gonna soar like a bird. You know, the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse says it's like you're going from feeling super stagnant, super in pause. But when you start making those decisions, trust me, your life is just going to suddenly pick up. And I think with the Nine of Cups, you're going to start dictating your life based on how you feel. When I'm around this person, do they make me feel good, or do they make me feel bad? When I'm doing this career, does it make me feel good, or does it make me feel bad? I feel like you're going to be kind of, Spirit is saying you're going to be taste testing your life by like, does it make me feel good or bad? That's how you need to dictate your life, is like going into a situation. What do you instantly feel? Does it make you feel uplifted? If it does, that's the way to go. If it makes you feel down, turn away. That's how your intuition is working right now. You have a lot of psychic power is kind of what I'm getting coming through you. It's all intuitive energy that I'm feeling from you. And it's like your guides, your intuition is going to be communicating to you through the way you feel. So if something makes you feel really, really good, that's kind of your intuition saying do that. Look at that High Priestess. I didn't even notice the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck. Trust your intuition at this time. It's very, very powerful. Wow. The Tower and the Devil. Wow. Wow. That is crazy. Look at that. The whole entire foundation of your life is being shaken up, because look what it was built on. Toxicity for some of you is like it's like breaking out of the mold. Okay, with the Tower card, this is a good energy because you're shaking things up. You're like, I'm tired of being in this. Look, what were we talking about the whole reading? I don't even know if I have to reiterate it, because it's kind of just the devil breaking out of like things that have that toxic hold on you. I feel like with the Tower card, guys, there's about to be a lot of significant change. You have change and the Tower is what your higher self is saying. It is going to be very abrupt, but the Tower in this case is not giving me a bad energy. It's giving me much needed changes that are going to happen quickly, because they have to happen for you to be able to move forward. It may feel uncomfortable, but it's also like very, very needed, okay? I feel like with the Hierophant, continue to trust in a higher power, continue to like lead with your intuition, continue to like, I don't know if you guys are listening to like a lot of like mindset videos, or you're listening to the Law of Attraction. The Hierophant is very much an energy of having faith, okay? And I feel like that's what you guys have. So even in the face of like adversity, you guys continue to have the faith. That all the adversity is for a reason. So let me see if there's anything else for you, pile number 3. We also have the Knight of Cups. So you guys could have some new offers of love coming in. Okay, maybe you're going to be getting on a dating app, but it feels like you have a lot of like loyal people coming in. So if loyalty has been something that you've struggled with in relationships, it definitely, your higher self is saying that that is not going to be a problem in the future. Okay, it feels like you have a very sweet, sensitive soul that wants to show you, look at that, Ace of Cups. This new beginning in love that is going to be showing up for you guys. Strength. Okay, look at that. You guys are building the courage and the strength to acknowledge what is and isn't good for you. And because of that, you're about to live your best life. So I'm pretty sure that's it for you, pile 3. So is there anything else from pile 3's higher self? I'm hearing like if someone isn't talking about you, you're not doing the right thing. Okay? If people are talking about you, if people are talking behind your back, you know you're doing something to shake everything up. You know you're gonna be sick. You know you're successful when people have to talk about you. Okay, you know you're doing the right thing, you know, when people are talking shit about you. It's kind of another energy that I'm picking up on. I feel like you're gonna have a lot of people that are gonna tell you that you're gonna fail or you shouldn't do that because you're not good enough. Don't listen to the naysayers, okay? Let's see. We also have the 5 of Pentacles. I feel like with this 5 of Pentacles, although you may feel alone right now, the dog spirit gives me that feeling of like meeting your tribe. Okay, that loneliness kind of like disappearing, okay? It may be hard at first, but I think once you come into your own, everything else is gonna kind of fall into place, pile 3. So that's what your higher self wanted to communicate with you today. Make sure to subscribe. Let me know down in the comment section if this reading resonated with you. And make sure to click, you know, the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a brand new video. And I will see the rest of you beautiful souls on the next one. Bye, guys.